Good afternoon, honorable members. When the business of the House suspended for a luncheon break, we were at third reading and passing of bills. For the third reading and passing of bills.
Mr. Speaker, there are no further third reading and passing of bills.
Thank you. Consideration of Senate amendments. Honorable members, I'm in possession of two sets of Senate amendments. The first of which is Bill number 71, Register of Beneficial Owners Ownership Bill 2018. And the proposed Senate amendments are as follows. Clause 2 of the bill, amendments to be made. The Register of Beneficial Ownership Bill 2018. Clause 2, subsection A, delete the definition of licensee and substitute the following. Licensee, in quotes, include a licensee or registrant under subsection A, the Banks and Trust Companies Regulation Act, Chapter 316. Subsection B, the Investment Fund Act, Chapter 369A. Subsection C, the Securities Industry Act, 2011, number 10 of 2011. Subsection D, the Insurance Act, Chapter 347. Subsection E, the External Insurance Act, Chapter 348. Subsection F, the Financial and Corporate Services Providers Act, Chapter 363, and shall include its affiliates and wholly owned subsidies. And B, and just before we move to B, honorable members, subsection B is still dealing with clause 2. Delete the definition of securities exchange and substitute the following. Securities exchange means subsection A, the Bahamas International Securities Exchange, or subsection B, any other regulated securities exchange recognized pursuant to the Securities Industry Act 2011, number 10 of 2011. Subsection C, insert the following definition in the appropriate alphabetical order. Affiliate, in quotes, affiliate, in relation to a licensee means a legal entity or foreign regulated person that is under common control with such licensee and hence is considered to be a member of the same group of companies. New paragraph, delete subclauses section 5, subsection 1A and B, and substitute the following. Subsection 1A, subsection A, in the case of a legal person other than a legal entity whose securities are listed on a securities exchange, a natural person who ultimately owns or controls, whether directly or indirectly, 10 or more % of the shares or voting rights of the legal entity. Subsection B, in the case of a legal person, a natural person who otherwise exercises control over management of the legal person other than solely in the capacity of a director, advisor, or professional manager. In the chapel, delete the word legal entity and substitute the word legal person, its affiliates, or wholly owned subsidies. Delete clause 7 and substitute as follows. Subsection 1, for the purposes of this act, an exempt person is a person who meets one or more of the following conditions. Subclause A, a legal entity, the securities of which are listed on a regulated securities exchange. Subsection B, a licensee as defined under Section 2 of this Act. Subsection C, a legal entity which is a wholly owned subsidy of a legal entity that falls within paragraph B. Or subsection D, any other legal entity that the minister may exempt by regulations. Subsection 2, the provisions of sections 8, subsection 1 and 2, and section 9, subsection 2B and C shall not apply to the exempt person. Yes. Are we following? We are now at clause 8. Delete subclause 1 and substitute the following. A legal entity shall, within 15 days of identifying any person as a beneficial owner or a registrable legal entity of that legal entity, notify its registered agent or the Register General of those persons identified as beneficial owners and registrable legal entities. And under clause 9, subclause 1B, insert the word with after the words in accordance. Still dealing with clause 9, in subclause A, we're dealing with clause 12 now. Subclause A, renumber subclause 5 as subclause 6. And that is the second time that it appears, and we must consequently renumber all of the following subclauses. In subclause B, in the renumbered subclause 7, renumber the numerals subclause 5 to subclause 6. Honorable members, those are the recommended Senate amendments for the Register of Beneficial Ownership Bill 2018. As many as are in favor will remain seated. Those who honorable members. The chair recognizes the honorable member for Bamboo Town.
Yeah. Mr. Speaker, I do move at this time that the amendments from the Senate be adopted.
Is there a seconder?
Second.
On Bill 71.
On bill. Honorable members, it has been moved and seconded that the amendments recommended by the Honorable Senate on Bill 71, the Register of Beneficial Ownership Bill 2018, be adopted as read. As many as are in favor will remain seated. Those who oppose will stand. The bill the amendments as being read of the Register of Beneficial Ownership Bill 2018 by the Senate is hereby adopted. The second amendment in my possession from the Senate for consideration would be Bill number 69, and that is the Commercial Entities Substance Requirements Bill 2018. And the amendments to be made to that bill are as follows. The long title, delete the words "in the Bahamas." In clause 2, in the definition of included entity, subclause A, the paragraph subclause A, insert the word "and" after the semicolon. Subclause B, in paragraph subclause B, delete the word "and" subclause C, delete the paragraph subclause C. In clause number 4, delete the words in the form "within the Bahamas" wherever they appear. In subclause 5, subsection A, in subsection 1, delete the words "in the Bahamas" where they occur the first time. Still dealing with clause 5, in subclause B, delete subclause 4H and substitute the following. H, intellectual property assets activity. Number 1, patents and similar intellectual property assets, research and development. Subclause 2, intangible intellectual property assets such as brand, trademark, and customer data, marking, branding, and distribution. In subclause 8, delete subclauses 2 and 3 and substitute the following. Subclause 2, subject to subsection 3, a passive holding entity shall not be required to comply with the substance requirement of this act, save that strategic decisions of the passive holding entity shall be made in the Bahamas by persons with the necessary knowledge and expertise to make such decisions. In subclause 3, where a passive holding company engages in any relevant activity, that company shall be required to satisfy substance requirement. Subclause 4, for the purposes of this act, in quotes, equity participation entity means a company which only holds equity participation and earns only dividends and capital gains or incidental income. And passive holding entity means an entity which does not by itself or by of its subsidiaries conduct any relevant activity and includes a collective investment entity or equity participation entity. Subclause 10, subclause 8. Delete subclauses 2 and 3 and substitute the following. Subclause 2, a regulated included entity shall report on its compliance with this act to the authority within 9 months of its fiscal year and in the manner set out in Form B of the first schedule. Still dealing with clause 10, subclause 3, a passive holding entity shall report on its compliance with this act to the authority within 9 months of its fiscal year end in the manner set out in Form C of the first schedule. And subclause B, in subclause 4(1), insert immediately after the words entity, the words which is not a passive holding entity. And in 2, delete the words Form E and substitute the word Form C. In subclause 12, in clause 12, in subclause 2, delete the words Form B, C, or D, and substitute the words Form B or C. In the first schedule, subclause A, delete the reference to the clause subclause 10A appearing immediately under the schedule heading and substitute the reference to the clause 10. Sorry, that should be clause 10 in brackets. Still dealing with the first schedule, subsection B, in Form B, 1, insert immediately after the words included entities appearing under Form B, the words unregulated included entities. In 2, insert immediately under the row beginning typed the following new row. Now, this is in tabular form. I'll read the first column. Please include whether included entity or regulated included entity. In the middle row, included entity, and there's a box, I guess, for a tick. And in the third column, regulated included entity with a box for a tick or an X. Subsection 3, delete the word included wherever it appears after the row inserted in paragraph 2 above. Subclause C, delete 1, Form D in its entirety, and 2, Form E in its entirety. Honorable members, those are the Senate amendments for consideration for Bill number 69, the Commercial Entities Substance Requirement Bill 2018. The Chair recognizes the honorable member for Bamboo Town.
Mr. Speaker, I do move that the House adopts the Senate amendment and pass the Senate amendment to Bill number 69.
Honorable members, it has been moved and seconded that the Senate amendments for Bill number 69, the Commercial Entity Substance Requirement Bill 2018, be adopted and agreed. As many as are in favor will remain seated. Those who oppose will stand. The Senate amendments to Bill number 69, the Commercial Entity Substance Requirement Bill 2018, are hereby adopted as read. Further consideration of Senate amendments. Resolutions. Member statements. The Chair recognizes the honorable member for Mango Key, South and Central Andros.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Speaker, in the spirit of the Yuletide season, and as we would have just moments ago said farewell to Lady Zoe Maynard, we once again want to pass on our condolences to the former Attorney General and Member of Parliament, the Honorable Alison Maynard Gibson, and our family for the passing of their mom, wife of the former Deputy Prime Minister, Lisa Clement T. Maynard. And also I must note, Mr. Speaker, quickly, that I too would like to, before I speak formally on behalf of our party, to my direct communities I would be departing for South Andros tomorrow morning, to thank all of the administrators who serve in my great district, Administrator Colebrook, and also Lightbourne and Central Andros, and also to all the local government practitioners, especially chief councilors and others who serve. And I know the presence of Mr. Dino Marshall, who's here in the gallery from Central Andros. I'm just proud of those young men who remain in the family islands amidst all the challenges and the urban pull. And I want to say thanks to him and all the countless others who've given much and remain in the family islands amidst all the challenges and the vicissitudes of survival, mere survival sometimes. And I want to thank them. And we look forward to one day at Christmas, Brother Dano, that we'll have all the basics that we've been asking for over the years in the island of Andros. Mr. Speaker, in my final 40 seconds on behalf of my leader, the Honorable Philip Edward Brave, and who serves as Member of Parliament for Cat Island, Rum Cayce, and Salvador, and also leader for Majesty's Loyal Opposition, our deputy leader, and also the member for Angleston who serves in this place, who also had a father along with her to the funeral today and could not return due to the traffic congestion on our streets, and all those who are part of our party leadership, senators and others. We'd like to say to all of the Bahamian public, from Abaco in the north to Inagua in the south, we want to wish them a blessed and a thoughtful Yuletide season. 2018 has been a year of many challenges, and so we'll admonish Bahamians far and wide of all ilk and socio-economic status in our community to go to church, to share with family, to become community-oriented, and be philanthropic as much as their loins or their givings would allow. Visit old folks' homes and those who are convalescing. Let's look forward to a brighter and a better 2019. Once again, on behalf of our leader, the Honorable Philip Brave Davis, leadership of our party, we look forward to joining the government and wishing the people of our fair land and our great Commonwealth a joyous and most pleasant Yuletide season. But most importantly, do not forget the reason for the season. It was just over 2,000 years ago, our Lord and Savior Jesus the Christ came to this world so that we may one day be drawn closer to him through eternal life. May we all enjoy the most bounteous and joyous Christmas season as we look forward to a prosperous, productive, hard-working, and a well-meaning 2019. God bless you and Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Further member statement. The chair recognizes the Honorable Member for Bamboo Town.
Mr. Speaker, let me, as the member for Mangrove Key, Central Andros, and our Prime Minister done earlier, offer the condolences, my condolences and the condolences of my family on the passing of Lady Maynard and the fact that she was eulogized earlier today. Mr. Speaker, also in the vein, as the member for Mangrove Key, I rise on behalf of the government just to wish the Bahamian people a Merry Christmas and a happy and prosperous New Year. Mr. Speaker, during these festive times, as my Prime Minister would have said earlier, while we were commiserating over lunch, he was reminding us and reminding the nation that though this is a time for caring and sharing, that as a people we ought to be vigilant. You know, Mr. Speaker, the two greatest laws upon which every law that this House of Assembly can pass, every law that comports with the relationship between man and man and his God, is based upon one small word. It is called love. As a matter of fact, Mr. Speaker, the theologian said that there's only two great laws, and really there's only one. First is love the Lord your God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength. And the second is like unto the first, to love your neighbor as yourself. And the Apostle Paul says, indeed, he who loves fulfills the whole law. So during this period, Mr. Speaker, when we recognize, when we understand, when we respect the fact that this season represents John 1:1, which is God coming into the world. It says, for God so loved, he gave. Mr. Speaker, love is not just about a word, it is about an action. And we demonstrate that, Mr. Speaker, during this time when we actually give. And so as we are sharing gifts, as we are commiserating with our families, as we're gathered around the Christmas tree, let us remember those who are less fortunate than we were, that we would love our neighbors, Mr. Speaker, that we would seek to respect those who are within our communities, Mr. Speaker, and above all else, that we would look to the good and to the safety and to what is known as the common good of all of us collectively together. And so with that, Mr. Speaker, I want to, on behalf of the government and my Prime Minister, thank the civil service, to thank the members of the staff here at the House of Assembly, and to thank the good people of this Commonwealth of the Bahamas who have reposed their confidence in us, in that they've allowed us to take the reins of this government and to take them from where they are to where this Free National Movement government knows that they ought to be. And so with that, Mr. Speaker, I wish the entire nation a Merry Christmas, and above all else, the prosperous and happy New Year that is to come. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Further member statements? The chair recognizes the Honorable Member for Central and South Eleuthera.
Mr. Speaker, first of all, I'd like to extend my condolences to the Ferguson family in North America Point who lost their mother just on Monday, who was always one of the civil servants. Mr. Speaker, I'd like to invite the entire island of Eleuthera to our Christmas celebration, which will take place on Friday, beginning at 5 p.m. at the park in Savannah Sands, where we will be celebrating our Christmas, and everyone is invited to come down. I'd like to extend to the entire Bahamas and wish them a Merry Christmas and a prosperous 2019. And for my people in Central and South in particular, I pray that we will continue on the path in which we are in 2019. We have seen a better year, 2018, in South and Central, and I pray that 2019 will be the greatest. May God bless, and I would like to extend a Merry Christmas to each and every one. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Further member statement. The chair recognizes the Honorable Member for Marco City.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to extend condolences to Mildred Cooper on the death of her husband, Keith, from Spoonbill Loop, the children of Virginia, Antoinette Wright from Gambier Drive, who was laid to rest last week, the children and loved ones of Sybil Hyler Knowles. And of course, Mr. Speaker, during this time, I would like to invite all the residents of Marco City to bring their children out ages 1 through 14 to our annual Christmas party. This is the third year that we've been staging this party. It's going to be this coming Saturday, December 15, at the Central Church of God on Coral Road between 12 p.m. and 2:30 p.m. We invite all of the residents, third year in a row in the Marco City constituency, to come out to our annual children's party. Of course, lots of treats for the kids. I'd like to wish the entire staff at the Ministry of Agriculture and Marine Resources, those persons at BAIC and BAMSI as well, a wonderful Merry Christmas, and to extend on behalf of our Prime Minister and the government a special thanks to all of you that have worked tirelessly over the years. You've predated us in that ministry, have done an incredible job, and we wish to let you know how much we appreciate you and your ongoing sacrifice and work. And then, of course, to all the residents of Marco City in particular, Grand Bahama in general, to let you know that we love you. We stand with you. We're working tirelessly on your behalf to improve your life and the lives of your children. God bless you. Have a wonderful and safe Christmas.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Further member statements? Chair recognizes the Honorable Member for Garden Hills.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I too would like to extend condolences to the family of, to the entire Maynard family on the passing of Lady Zoe Maynard. And I want to say how attached my family was, and that's the family was to the Maynards, and to extend condolences to the entire family. Secondly, Mr. Speaker, I'd like to extend condolences to the Patton family on the passing of Patricia. That's also my family in Exuma, and our funeral is going to be this coming Saturday. And we all mourn her loss. She's a wonderful young woman, and I know the family is grieving at this moment, but I know that she is in a better place. Mr. Speaker, I'd also like to invite members from the Garden Hills constituency to our kids' party this year. It's going to be held this coming Saturday in Bozane Town, and invite all of the children in Garden Hills. And our activity starts in the morning with a seniors tour of New Providence, and seniors are to meet at my headquarters on Blue Hill Road and Soldier Road, and then we will all gather for a wonderful celebration in Bozane Town. Closing, Mr. Speaker, I'd like to say Merry Christmas and a wonderful and prosperous New Year to all of the residents in Garden Hills, and I wish them success, and I remind them that I am working on their behalf. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Further member statements. Chair recognizes the Honorable Member for Fox Hill.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I rise on behalf of the good people of the great constituency of Fox Hill, and I want to wish them all the best for this Yuletide season. God's blessings, God's grace, and a wonderful time with family and friends, and remind them that, again, the reason for the season. I'd also like to say to them that we've had a good year. Burnett Road is substantially completed. We're getting many good remarks about how nice it is to drive on a road without potholes, a road that has bedeviled them for well over 15 years. And right now, Foxhill deserves the best, and this is part of the best. More to come. We'll deal with drainage and other infrastructural matters in 2019. We'd also like to let the children of Foxhill know that we have a special treat for them and something special for the adults, and we would caution people that at this time of the year there are many fake things going around, and so those who purport to be me, they are not me, and so please stay strong, stay focused. I love you. God bless Foxhill. Happy Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Further member statement. The Chair recognizes the Honorable Member for North Eleuthera.
Mr. Speaker, it's indeed a privilege and a pleasure to stand here on behalf of the people of North Eleuthera and to bring greetings during this Yuletide season. But first, let me bring condolences to the family of Mr. Reswell Prince Mather, who will be laid to rest this coming Saturday at Wesley Methodist Church in Harbor Island. And also, condolences on behalf of the family of Avery Pinder out of Spanish Wells, who also will be laid to rest this coming Saturday in Spanish Wells. Yes, Abner Pinder's brother. Mr. Speaker, I want to say to the people of North Eleuthera, who's been patient in terms of some of the infrastructural needs that we need to address, that some of those issues are being dealt with, and we hope to see those issues completed. Let me state that the water, which is a very vexing problem, is being addressed as we speak, and hopefully by March we will have good potable drinking water in the entire North Eleuthera. We are also fortunate in that tomorrow the Minister of Works, well, actually on Friday, we'll be signing the contract for road works that will be done in Spanish Wells. That is something that is greatly needed. We are also addressing other issues in Spanish Wells, such as the need for a badly needed graveyard. And we have been assured that that should take place in very short order. But during the Yuletide season, we will be having activities as it relates to Spanish Wells, Spanish Wells, the mainland of North Eleuthera. And on Thursday, the 20th, we'll be graced with our Prime Minister, who will be visiting with us in Harbor Island, at which time we'll have a Christmas luncheon and party for the children. So let me once again say, on behalf of the people of North Eleuthera, we want to wish the entire Bahamas a Happy New Year, but firstly, a Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Member. Further member statement. Appointment of select committees. Instructions to select committees. Discharge of select committees. Notices for future meetings. Chair recognizes the Honorable Member for Cat Island, Rumkey, and San Salvador.
Mr. Speaker, I spoke to the member of Bambootown, Minister for Transport, particularly mailboat services, in respect to the new tariffs laid in the House on the 28th. And I wish, in the name of Dennis Hannah Martin, who's our shadow Minister for Transport, to give notice that as soon as possible, or soon as the House would allow, that we discuss a resolution, be it resolved that an address be presented to the Governor General, praying that the inter-insular mail shipping rates for the carriage of freight rules laid before the House of Assembly on the 28th of November 2018 be annulled pursuant to Section 32 of the Interpretation of General Clauses Act, Chapter 2 of the Statute Laws of the House.
Order that the notice be brought up.
Yeah. Dennis Snyder.
Order that the notice to lie on the table. Further notices for future meetings.
Mr.
The
Speaker,
chair
in
recognizes the
regards to
Honorable
what
Member
was
for
just laid
Bambootown.
by the leader of the opposition, the member for Cat Island, Rumkey, and San Sal. Mr. Speaker, we did lay those, the new tariffs on the floor of the House. There was a meeting that we had with the mailboat operators. Mr. Speaker, it was the intent of the government of the Bahamas to move forward with new contracts for the mailboat services. One of the requirements for the mailboat operators was that they wanted a 20% increase in the existing tariff. And they wanted that either by way of us increasing the government subsidies they received or by increasing the tariff. The government had taken the decision because we were wanting to move in the direction of fixing the situation with the move, changing the paradigm with the mailboat service, that we would have increased by about 10%. Subsequent to that, both the Prime Minister and the Cabinet of the Bahamas has decided that we are not going to move, that we would hold that tariff rate in abeyance, because really, Mr. Speaker, in 2005, there was a very comprehensive study done of the mailboat service as to what needed to take place in the industry. That report itself, Mr. Speaker, needs to be updated before the government moves in any particular direction. And so the government has decided to look at how we update that. And once that is updated, we will be getting back to the mailboat operators with the direction in which the government is going to move. But as it stands now, the status quo in the mailboat situation remains, and the tariff itself is not going to be enforced, Mr. Speaker. So we're going to...
Further notices for future meetings.
I'd just like to respond. I want to thank the Minister and the government for acceding to what they would have been hearing in the marketplace in respect to these increases. And since the only it just requires that because I'm advised by persons in Cat Island, for example, that they have already started to, and South Andres, I'm advised, that they have already started to charge the fees as was laid in the House. So perhaps a circular ought to be sent out so that will happen. And in that instance, then, there will be no need for us to proceed with that notice. It will be withdrawn, and we will await the update of the comprehensive report that was initiated by the member for Angleton in 205, and once we get it, I ask.
Honorable member, are you withdrawing now?
Yes. And I would just like the honorable member, Mr. Speaker, to know that it is the intention of the ministry to put it out to all mail voter operators. We will be writing to them tomorrow to reiterate what was said and what is the position of the government at this time.
Thank you, honorable member. Chair recognizes the honorable member for Mangrove Key, South and Central Andros.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. That is the spirit of good chair and the spirit of, you know, that's a good, amicable spirit during this Yuletide season. Thank you very much, Bamboo Town. I'll be heading to South Andros tomorrow, so I want Brother Rollos to know that it is now straight. So all administrators should get this information, member from Bamboo Town, so that it could be passed out, because there's much concern about the mail vote increases. Mr. Speaker, all notices in the name of Her Majesty's Loyal Opposition remain as we look forward to a bright and productive and assertive political agenda come 2019. God bless once again, and Merry Christmas, everybody.
Thank you, honorable member. Honorable member for Bamboo Town, just before you proceed, I just want to wish all the residents of the Nassau Village constituency a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and to invite all the children from Gleniston Gardens, Hope Gardens, Seabreeze, parts of Seabreeze, Mount Tabor Estates, Linden Pinling Estates, Redland Acres, Malcolm Allotment, Soldier Road, Freeman Smith Subdivision, the Nassau Village Subdivision proper. All of those areas make up the Nassau Village constituency. We're inviting you to a children's party, a New Year's party on the 29th of December on the newly upgraded Jonathan Square Park, just east of Prince Charles Shopping Plaza. I'm certain those who travel east can recognize the improvements. And so, with that, a Merry, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, and we'll see you on the 29th of December. The chair recognizes the honorable member for Bamboo Town.
Mr. Speaker, I renew all matters in the name of the government. Mr. Speaker, I do move that the House adjourns until January 10 a.m. Wednesday, the 16th of January, 2019. It's the third Wednesday, but it's after the 10th, after the holiday.
You'll accept that now, second.
So it's the third Wednesday. There are 5 Wednesdays in January. Well, I said perhaps the third week. The third week ended up being the 16th. Okay? So I do move, Mr. Speaker, that the House adjourns until 10 a.m. Wednesday, the 16th of January, 2019.
Is there a seconder?
Second.
Honorable members, it has been moved and seconded that the House adjourns to 10 a.m. Wednesday, the 16th of January, 2019. As many as in favor will remain seated. Those who oppose will stand. Final adjournment.
Mr. Speaker, I do now move that the House adjourns. I was going to say.
In the spirit of Christmas, is there a seconder?
Spirit of Christmas.
It has been moved and seconded that the House adjourns to 10 a.m., 16th of January, 2019. As many as in favor will remain seated. Those who oppose will stand. The House stands adjourned to 10 a.m., Wednesday, the 16th of January, 2019.